This is a brake caliper holder. I'm not quite sure it's off, but it's got a Lucas rotor on there, possibly a BL vehicle. The idea is that there's a little pin in there which slides in and out as the pad wears and the brake goes on and off. These are prone to seizing in. That one there seizing absolutely solid to the stage where they've actually snapped the head of it. I'm going to try and get the seize pin out of there, and I'll probably end up making a new pin for it. You need a lot of heat to get these out. You've got to warm these up, and the thing you'll be careful of is when you heat it up, make sure that's pointing away from you, because the bastards can come out like a rifle bullet. I've seen them fly out that way. I've also seen them blow a hole in the back of there when the metal's red hot. So I'm going to put some severe heat onto it, get some weld grips on there, try and get that out, and then we'll go from there. So it's pointing towards the wall, away from us. Set them weld grips on there, might weld the nut on, see what happens. We'll try with the weld grips first, but it is absolutely solid. So we'll get some heat onto it. Starting to get a bit of warmth into it now. These kind of flames coming out at the end, it's possibly trying to boil out whatever's left of the grease or oil in there. Right, starting to do it. That's the only way with these is heat. You've got to put a lot of heat on them. At least it's moving now. Definitely starting to give in. Right, so that's that out. There's nothing left of that, so I'll just make a new pin for it. But basically we've managed to save the casting. There's a little bit of damage there, but there's only a rubber boot clips around there, so that's going to be fine. So that's the first part of the job done. It come out better than I thought. But it is worth bearing in mind what I said about, I've seen these, they come out like bang, like a bloody rifle bullet, so you have to be careful. We'll let this cool off naturally now and go to the lathe and see if we can make a new pin for it. That's it there, that's the pin there. Straightforward. I've got some extra stainless, I'll probably use a bit of stainless steel for it. Some of these have a little groove cut in there and they have like a rubber washer in, anti-rattle washer. People don't just throw them away and put a little bit of silicone grease in there. That's all it takes. So when you're doing your brake pads, you pull these out, a little bit of grease spat together, and it stops all this seizing up. I've seen lots of calipers fitted because brakes are sticking on, and the fault is because that little bastard thing there is seized solid. I've cleaned the good pin up and took some sizes of it. You can see where it's pitted there, where the sort of weather's been getting underneath the rubber seal. It's got a couple of flats, in fact three flats machine on it. That's so when you push it into the caliper, the grease comes out and it doesn't get stopped in the bottom. I've got a bit of steel there. I've got quite a few of these out of a skip. It's actually A&H steel, it's good material. They were either faulty or they were. There was too many, I don't know quite sure, but I've got a few of them just to use the material for jobs like this. So first thing to do is knock the end off, put it in the chuck that way around, and we'll do that part first. Machine that bit, drill it and tap it, and then just mill a couple of flats on for a spanner. Nice, straightforward machine job out of hopefully a bit of decent quality material. use a collar chuck because it's already in there and it's really handy. It's nice for machining, for videoing, because you haven't got the chuck in the way of everything. Quick and accurate as well. Oh, bastard thing's tight. It's right in the middle of two collet sizes. It's going to be sort of tight on material as well. Bit of nice stainless, machined very well. Free as well, that makes a big difference. $10 a size we're looking at. But it wants to be a fairly piss wobbly slack. You certainly don't want it too tight. I think that's actually 10.5, so we'll take a 10.5 foul cut of that, and then we'll see what we can clean the finish up a little bit. But saying that, a rough finish may help on this particular job. The tip's not the best in the world. It's actually the tip second hand. When the SNNC lads deem the tip scrap, it still ploughs metal off quite merrily for me. Set the file actually, that's in the worn hole or the seized hole. Yep, we'll set the file, that's good enough. Sort this end out here now. These sure lengths we turn down to 15mm. Excellent. There's a little groove goes in there just to keep the little rubber seal on. That's that little groove there. Just going to square this corner up. That tool I've been using has got a large radius on, designed for riving material off. Just a nice chamfer on there. So we've basically copied what we've got there. Excellent. Let's make sure the parting tool is at 90 degrees to the job, which it is. We need to part that off. Enough there, that's enough to face it. I like to use a bit of the Martian snot when I'm parting things off. Works very well. Drill and tap that now, 8mm for whatever depth it needs to be. Whatever measure up to see. .8 is the tapping drill for standard metric 8mm. You need to go in for a depth of 14. Right, 14mm. I'm not sure if this drill chuck will the tap tight enough. It'll certainly start it. There's no harm in finishing it off by hand. Don't think it allows to reverse it, so don't like going backwards. The keyless shocks. Oh, it has. Now we need to machine a couple of flats on there for the spanner, and that's just about the job done. Use a collar block to put 2 flats on, and all I need is 2.5mm off 2 faces, and that'll give us a 17mm across flats. I could put a hex on, but it's not really necessary. And that should do the job quite nicely. Just touch it off. What we'll do before we touch it off is we'll tighten that chuck. It'll stop it from moving. My head certainly isn't on the job today. I don't know where my head is, to tell you the truth. Right, I'll try again, Johnny. That's it there. 0 the Z axis. That's 1mm. Two mil. 2.5. Right, then we'll simply turn the collar block over, making sure that we stop the machine. We don't want to get stuck in among that lot. It probably would take the cut in one, but I'm not going to. Right, that's it, 2.5, so that should be a 17mm flat now. Which it is. That's it done. The one thing I did forget to do was to mill a couple of flats on there, or machine a couple of flats on there, just to allow the grease to be pushed back. We can simply do it by hand. You haven't got to use a machine for everything. Does you good now and then to do a little bit of filing, do some new jaws in the vise. Right, we'll settle for that. It's with a little rubber simply pushes over there like that. A little bit of lubricant, doesn't take a great lot. That goes in there like that. That pops on. That's the one we've just made. This is the original one. You can get the little rubber boots, no problem. That's all it needs. So when you fit brake pads, pull these apart and grease them. And that's a nice repair. And I found out it's for a 309 Peugeot with updated brakes. Bigger disc and calipers the lads put on, so that should do fine. We'll even give them a nice new bolt. Once again, it's just time to say thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget, if you start to feel down in the dumps, depressed and miserable, go and see a doctor, get some help. It is important and the help is available. Anyway, thanks for watching.